on this video I'm doing about Somerdales. It's one of these long lost caravan factories. The other day I decided to put out a bit of a call for anybody that remembers working here. I mean, don't forget, we're talking 50 odd years ago, no, 60 years ago. So I also looked at some old factory pictures which I found when I got back, and this was the original factory. 2 doors here, side entrance there, and all this on this other side was literally fields. So this was where the original factory was. And I also found out that it was a couple called Jack and Wynne Bauer, who lived only a mile or so from here, who started the company, who owned the company, and basically had been living around in the Blackburn area. Now I wondered whether they've come from caravanning background. I don't know, you know what I mean? You know, how would they start up? And there were several caravan manufacturers around Blackburn Way, Accrington, people like Ernley, and also people like Holgates, and also Crichton, which would have been possibly where they would have come from, or Jack may have come from. Now several people got in touch and said yes, they remember it well. One guy said that his mother worked in the offices, and in school time he used to come and help out, do the brochures and sort the brochures out, sticking price stickers on. I've actually probably got some of those brochures with the price stickers stuck on, so he probably maybe did them as a kid. Somebody said they worked here and made doors for the tourers when they were making tourers, and also somebody said they worked in the paint spray shop, because in those days the aluminium came literally raw, so basically you had to paint your own tourers at each manufacturer until pre-painted aluminium came in the late 60s, which put a lot of stop to a lot of that. But then another guy contacted me and he said he can remember towards the very end how they got time and motion people in to try and save and cut down the cost and make it more efficient. Now the thing was, this here is the original factory, and I think they had that built. That was a new factory when they moved in, so I think they had it built specially. And then they obviously bought this as a whole patch of land, and then built the other unit on there in 1962-63, and then added again to that. So what happened? Well, maybe they overstretched themselves. Maybe at the end of the day they literally did borrow money to expand. Maybe business was very, very good, and I'm sure it would be. But also in 1967 there was a credit squeeze, and I remember reading about CI caravans, and they were quite sort of worried because they had vast stocks of unsold tourers. When the credit squeeze ended, then those tourers were released and were sold into dealers and all found buyers. Now obviously since this factory was put up, it's all been clad, as we said before earlier on in the video, but it's just interesting to know that the factory was still there, and this was all part of the forecourt, and this is where caravans and people park the cars. I find it really fascinating. But now I've found a bit more out about Somerdale, I'm really quite pleased. Also they did build a coach-built motor, which I may have mentioned. So all this was theirs. So this must have bought this land. I think that factory at the back there was the first one they put up, or this one was the first one they put up, I think, and then they extended on the back there. So this was put up in 1962-63. They moved here about 1960, 59, so this would have been just built then. You can see there's the original bit of the factory being disguised by this cladding. So I'm really glad now I found out a bit more about the factory, and that this is the original factory. Now when I put up the pictures they're very grainy, but you'll be able to see the fact is that this was part of the original factory where they made Somerdales, and as I say, they were very successful, but it seems like that they ran into financial problems and somebody else shut when, I think it was Stevenson's, I can't remember what the name of the company was, Stevenson's Products or Construction. They bought them and they just closed the factory down soon after, a few months later. So that, I'll put you back on now to the end of that video, maybe, or I'll just probably just now actually finish this video here. So yeah, here we have it, another one of these factories that have long since forgotten of the UK heritage of caravan manufacturing. Hope you've enjoyed the video, hope to do some more. But yeah, all the time I've been coming past there, I didn't realise this was the place. Interesting. I'm in my scruff gear because I've been out in the garden, by the way, so it's been a lovely day. I've been doing a bit of lawn cutting and cutting back, etc. So I'm a bit scruffed up, but I just had to come and do this while it was quiet. It's in the evening and there's nobody around, so it's just best to film. Yeah, this must have been quite a purchase when they built this. They must have had a lot of confidence and the market would be very buoyant and demand strong. But apparently, just another bit of interest was that the co-op took over the building after somebody else moved out. But yeah, its origins were originally a caravan factory, purpose built. And still quite a few people live around here, worked here in some form or another, and it was just great to hear their little stories come through. Right, I'll leave you and get on to the next video whenever. And thanks to the subscribers, and I hope you do like these old factory sort of look backs, and see if we can find them. But I'm glad to say Somerdale's heritage in their factory is still here, up and running, in regards that they're standing here and they're being used for something else, and the buildings have remained basically the same.